Justin Marks just addressed one of the biggest questions hanging over Trackhouse Racing. And his answer might not be what everyone expected, because here's the situation. The biggest move of NASCAR's 2027 off-season may have already happened, and now the team at the center of it has to figure out what comes next. And hey, real quick, if you're a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. NASCAR Nation news is just getting started. We are pushing for our next subscriber milestone, and it's all about real talk from fans who live this sport every week. All right, let's get into it. So let's start with what actually happened. Earlier this week, it was announced that Connor Zilisch would be leaving Trackhouse Racing to join Hendrick Motorsports. This is a multi-year deal, and it kicks off in 2028. Now think about that for a second. This isn't a quick fix or a one-year rental. This is a long-term commitment from Hendrick Motorsports to bring Zilisch into their organization. For Zilisch himself, this is a big opportunity. He remains one of the top prospects in the Cup Series, and that's despite the fact that his rookie year has been marred with inconsistency. But according to the report, this was simply the type of deal he could not turn down. But here's the thing. This move doesn't just affect Zilisch, it leaves some real question marks for Trackhouse. They're saying goodbye to an extremely popular driver, and now they have some big decisions to make about how to handle that departure. So what are the options on the table? Well, one idea that's been floated, and this includes Dale Earnhardt Jr. among others, is Trackhouse going back down to running just 2 cars in the Cup Series. Under that scenario, Shane Van Gisbergen and Ross Chastain would keep their seats, and the team would lease out its third charter to another organization. That's a significant shift if it happened. But according to Trackhouse owner Justin Marks, that move is not currently in the cards. Marks addressed this directly in a recent interview with SiriusXM's NASCAR Radio. Here's what he said. He said, quote, "I don't know where that comes from. I don't really think downsizing for a company is the right thing to do." He went on to explain that there's correlation, not causation, between Trackhouse struggling to find speed and the timing of their expansion to 3 cars. In his words, some people might look at that timing and say maybe 3 cars was too much for them, and create their own story in their head. But Marks is pushing back on that narrative. Now, there's no denying that Zilisch leaving is going to change the math at Trackhouse. That's just reality. But Marks is confident that the team's sponsors are taking the long, you hear, and that keeping the team at 3 cars makes sense for everyone involved. Let's talk about why. Marks explained, "We have 3 cars worth of awesome sponsors. Chevrolet likes that we have 3 cars. I like that we have 3 cars." And he added that downsizing the team would send the wrong message. He didn't stop there either. Marks continued by laying out the business side of this decision. He said, "At the end of the day, this is a business. And Trackhouse has a lot of sponsors that want to grow with them. They want to expand, they want to renew. According to Marks, the way the business is structured, it works well as a 3-car team. There are economies of scale involved, and they've got committed sponsors on all 3 cars." He even described what selling a charter would actually look like in practice. If they sold a charter, they'd have to call sponsors, people who have become friends of theirs, and tell them there's no room for them anymore. And in his view, this isn't an industry where you want to put yourself in a position to call sponsors and say you don't need their money. Marks also made a point of saying that growing to 3 cars was a very intentional decision. It certainly happened quickly, in his words, but he's happy with where the team is at right now. Now, here's something worth remembering as this situation plays out. Trackhouse does have some extra runway here because Zilisch is still going to be racing with the team next season all through 2027. That gives them time. Depending on how that 2027 season goes, the finances of one side or the other of this downsizing debate could become more obviously beneficial for the team's long-term success. But as things stand right now, Mark says he likes running 3 cars, and he doesn't sound like a guy who's planning to change that anytime soon. So let's recap real quick. Zilisch is heading to Hendrick Motorsports on a multi-year deal starting in 2028. That leaves Trackhouse with a decision to make about their 3rd car. And despite some public speculation about downsizing, Justin Marks has made it clear, at least for now, that a 2-car future is not the plan. So here's my question for you. Do you think Trackhouse should stick with 3 cars, or would leasing out that 3rd charter actually be the smarter long-term move? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed this one, make sure you like this video and subscribe to NASCAR Nation News. We'll see you in the next one.